Hello to my gorgeous Libras out there. This is Brandon with I'm here to bring you your energetic reading for September, whatever. I'm no longer date specificing my videos as I feel the energy is fluid, and no matter when you come across this video, be it September or December, you should be able to pull exactly what it is that you need from it. I've taken a break. It's been a while since I've made a video because I had to get some things right within my own energetic self. I had to, do some figuring out what it is that I want to bring on this channel. And just to clarify, my readings aren't your usual tarot readings. They're not, dedicated to your love or blah, 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 or this or that. But you can't do the kind of thing I do without bringing love into it. You can't do the kind of thing I do without bringing in any one single aspect of your life, because as I'm compelled to talk about it, that's what we're going to talk about. So just so you know that my readings are specifically for spiritual enlightenment, energetic renewal, that kind of thing right there. I've kind of taken up to bringing a hybrid of the kind of readings that I used to do. I used to do one specifically for the weeks ahead and then one for the weekends as well, but I felt like that kind of divided the audience a little bit. So I've taken to kind of an amalgamation of those two kinds of readings. So what I'll be doing here is we're going to be pulling 3 cards for each kind of Libra out there. 3 for the Libra that's single, 3 for the Libra that's in a loving relationship, and 3 for the Libra that's maybe a bit confused about where you want to take your own self, or maybe where you stand with somebody else. All right. I hope everybody's had a wonderful end of August. I think the last time that I did a video was at the beginning of August. I had to take a couple of weeks off to really figure some things out for myself as far as my own building and destroying and rebuilding, pretty much. And look at that, cards already flipping and flopping out. But yeah, I had to take some time to figure out what it is that I want to bring to you people, because I don't want to sound like everybody else. I don't want to bring the same kind of reading that you can get from about 15 other YouTube readers right now at this moment. I want mine to sound different. I want mine to build you in a different direction, so that not only are you maybe getting helpful hints on one aspect of your life, but maybe something that can take you into the broader scheme of things, the bigger picture. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. For my beautiful Libra, this is going to be the first 3 cards are going to be for my single Libras out there. The first card that's coming out for you guys is emotions. I know we all love those. We all get excited about our emotions, don't we? What that card is asking you is to take stock of your sacral energy, the Svadhisthana energy. That's the chakra that we're talking about here. And Svadhisthana is the word for sweetness. And that's what you want your sacral to be producing. If your emotions don't give you a feeling of sweetness, of kindness, of nourishment, then that's exactly what you're going to get in return. That's exactly what you're putting out there. And as we all know, karma swirls around and comes back and hits you right in the freaking forehead. But we want to make sure that we're producing the kind of love that we want to see returned to us. And keeping your emotions in balance, making sure that you're not getting too caught in your feelings, because we can do that from time to time as human beings. That's a reason that we are who we are, is because we can feel the emotions, the range of emotions that we feel, and be quite aware of them as well. So use that Libran, that mind, that beautiful Libran mind. You guys have a wonderful way of thinking sometimes, that you're the librarians of the energetic world. You take stock of not only what you see, but how it makes you feel. So let's make sure that we're using that in a constructive way instead of letting it destroy either ourselves or the things around us. We want to make sure that our emotions are feeding us, are providing us nutrients or nourishment, or something that builds us up instead of tearing us down and putting our face in the mud. Okay? Next card to pop up for the beautiful Libra. Wow, looks like there's a theme here. Emotional balance. We're going to make sure that we're keeping the Anahata chakra in balance. We want to make sure that we're seeing the cup as half full as maybe as well as half empty. You never want to feel that you've got everything that you need, because we should always be aspiring to gain more footing, more ground in the spiritual realm. Maybe you have everything financially that you desire. Maybe you have everything emotionally that you desire, but you still feel there's an empty void in there somewhere. That emotional balance is about making sure that all of your cups are filled, making sure that you feel that you can pick up any one of those chalices and take a nice, good, cool drink or warm sip of whatever is in there and have it be satisfying. So let's make sure that we're maintaining that emotional balance. The rainbows are pouring in, the storms are spilling out. Okay? And lastly, for my beautiful single Libra out there, we're going to take stock of our responsibility. And that's a card that not only speaks to your responsibilities. You have to pay your bills, you have to take care of such and such, you have to do this in order to blah, blah, blah. But there's also a responsibility for oneself as well. If you feel that you want to get out there and find a new relationship, take responsibility for yourself in this instance, and don't think that it's somebody else's responsibility to make you feel loved. Sometimes it takes you taking that first step and getting a firm foot on the ground before you know just how far you can travel, just how high you can climb. So let's make sure that we're using that responsibility of self, so that we're not only uprooting and getting rid of things that don't need to be there, but if we pull out something that does, we're able to replant it and have it grow into exactly the kind of strong tree that it needs to be. And the only way that's going to happen is if you realize that you are in control. You're in control, Libra. The power is yours. By the power of Grayskull, Libra's got it. So let's make sure that we're realizing this about ourselves. Realizing your own power is extremely powerful. Forgive the redundancy, for each of us in our own lives. Now we're going to shuffle up again for, okay. The first card to pop out for my Libras in love, Libras in a wonderful relationship, is compassion. The Anahata chakra, the heart. We want to make sure that we're extending that all the way out. This flower right here is the flower of creation. It's a flower of nourishment. And you want to make sure that you're providing that to you, your partner, your loved ones, people who you care about, making sure that they realize that they matter. You don't want anybody that you consider to be part of your soul tribe, your soul, your energetic family, to feel like they're ostracized or that they don't belong. Even if they're a little bit awkward, sometimes you want to be like, you know what? Let me go out there and just give them a hug or something like that. Sometimes it takes you being bigger than yourself. And sometimes how we feel is not fair to the person that needs to catch that feeling. So let's make sure that we're extending that compassion out to our partner if they need it. If you're going through troubled times, the only way you're going to get through it is by understanding what it is that is the actual problem. And the obvious, most times, is not what's really going on. Sometimes, or most times, there's a deeper rooted extension to what you see above ground. So let's make sure that we're extending that compassion out so that we can get the full picture of what it is that's affecting our lives. Also, for the beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, lovely Libra. Whoa, sorry, YouTube monitors. We're going to make sure that we're extending our sensuality out to our partner, making sure that they feel desired, that they feel as though you want them, you need them, you gotta have them, you like the way they work it, no diggity. Let's make sure that we're extending that sensuality out to our partner so that not only are you providing for each other in the things that are obvious, finances, blah, 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 oh, they make me happy, they make me smile. There is a quiet area, an area that not everybody is privy to because maybe they aren't welcome there. I don't know how you swing, but there is, your sexuality is your private self shared with somebody else. So let's make sure that we're allowing, one and the other to, try things out. Maybe you're not so into whatever it is your partner is suggesting, but don't knock it till you try it. If you haven't been there, if you haven't done it, go ahead and give it a shot. And if you don't like it, there it is. But at least give your partner and yourself the space to express themselves in their private way. Because sometimes we keep our own little weird fetishes to ourselves because we think we're going to get shamed about it. So you want to extend that open umbrella out to your partner so that they feel that no matter how odd the request may be, you love them enough to give it a shot, give it a go. And you might find yourself kind of weirdly into it. So make your partner feel loved and make sure that you feel loved yourself. If you don't feel that same thing being given back, then there is a discrepancy and it needs to be dealt with openly and honestly. And my last card from my wonderful, beautiful, fantastic Libra is sound. We're going to make sure that the Vasuddha is well taken care of. That is our ability to speak our expression into the world as well as to receive it. Vibration is not only dealt with internally, externally, but the other way as well, externally to internally as well. So you want to make sure that you're keeping yourself away from things that will pull your emotions in a direction that you don't desire them to go to or that you're not intending them to go to. You want to make sure that you're setting your intentions correctly and also providing those same desires with the external stimulation that they might need. If you want to feel love, you put on songs that speak on love in a positive way. If you want to get angry, you put on some thrash metal and get pissed off. That's just the way that sound can work and does work. So be aware of this and be aware of what it is that you're putting out there from your own vocals, from your own box, okay? Let's make sure that we're providing the same beautiful sound to others that we want to receive. Somebody gets loud, you get loud, right? Everybody does it. So let's make sure, but you can bring it down just by calming yourself down if you're having a tough time with your partner. You can control this, Libra. That's one of the beautiful things about Libra is that they win with intelligence. They don't have to force anything. They can say something very quietly and reset the whole energy in the room. So do that. And we're going to give it a good shuffle for the complicated Libras out there. I love you so much. I know how it is. Sometimes you don't know if you're being pulled left or right or up or down or out of town. But let's see if we can get some cards to kind of help you get the ship steered right again. The first card for you beautifuls is Ajna energy. It's your third eye chakra, that insight. Maybe it's I don't know what your specific situation is. Maybe it's you not sure where you stand with somebody, or maybe it's you, just kind of trying to be loose and free with what it is that you're doing with your life. But either way, if you're trying to gain clarity on to which way you should go and where you need to be, you need to take some time to yourself, do the internal work, and allow yourself to see from within to your outside world. You have to visualize sometimes, and you have to visualize what it is that you desire so that that's how you manifest. You see yourself somewhere, and then your physical external self starts to naturally align itself towards that path. No matter how rough it may seem, no matter how stoic and solitary you might find yourself, sometimes that is exactly where you need to be in order to gain the clarity that you need to see what it is that life is trying to show you, that the source is trying to give to you, or divine for you. And the only way we can do that sometimes is getting a little meditative. Do that in whatever way you're able to do it. I know everybody has a different way of doing things, and me myself, I go check out my kineticism folder on my channel, and you'll see exactly how I like to meditate. I can't sit still. And find your way. You know, there's different ways to get into that state. Some people play video games, some people play music, some people do this, some people do that. It's all about finding that thing that you really enjoy, that you're doing well, but you also find yourself thinking about every single thing in your life, and you're like, wow, I never thought about that until now. That's you getting into your meditative stance. So do what you got to do to find yourself in that position. Okay? Next up for the wonderful Libran is heart chakra. You got to maintain that balance no matter how complicated your life is. You can't let somebody spin webs in your attic. Okay? You have to make sure that you're cleaning out what doesn't need to be there, but also holding on to things that do work for you, that do benefit your life, not only internally but physically, but emotionally, and in any other aspect of your life that you cherish. But the heart chakra is not so much about your external stimulus. It's about that fire within, the thing that makes you feel good about being in your own body. So use that insight. The card we just put down, use your insight to balance your heart chakra. Okay? Heart goes a long way, man. It pretty much, your solar plexus and your heart, my opinion, are your biggest advantages when it comes to balancing self. Because once you learn how to love, you learn how to be loved as well. And once you learn how to express that love through your solar, everything else kind of falls in line. So let's make sure that we're allowing this for ourselves, that we're giving ourselves the space that we need to uncomplicate our lives, or to figure things out, or do whatever it is to make sure that you're walking along your best path. And sometimes that path is solo dolo. But sometimes it's saying, you know what, I got this big old love muffin right here in front of me, and why am I not enjoying it? And we're going to pull one from the bottom. For the beautiful complicated Libra out there. And look at that. We're staying in that third eye energy. Seeing. You got to make sure that you're seeing the world clearly in order to get a good idea of what it is that's happening in your own lives and what you're doing to others as well. Sometimes seeing is not all about self. It's about you as well as how you're affecting those around you. So let's make sure that we're keeping that third eye wide open, because, I mean, these eyes are good, especially if you got 20/20 or better. But that third eye is your 1,000-yard stare right there. That's what allows you to see through the bull crap and get to what it is that actually matters. Well, I hope I wasn't rambling too much. I hope that was enjoyable for every one of you. I enjoyed giving you the message that was gifted to me by my spiritual team and our ancestors. Sorry for taking so long to get back with you guys, for those that have been with me through all of my videos. But I'll do my best to keep you guys updated and fresh on what it is that I think I can help you with along this spiritual journey. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend ahead. Don't forget that we have the harvest moon tomorrow, and it's also, I mean, I know some people have their things about Friday the 13th, but the harvest moon in its state, this kind of happening won't happen again for quite some time. It's going to be quite a few decades before we have another harvest moon, specifically on this kind of energetic field that it's in right now. So be mindful of that. You're going to for those that are willing, you know, when it comes to this kind of work, you have to be willing to do it. If you're not, then you're just going to be like, well, I was waiting and nothing happened. That's because you didn't try to make it happen. You weren't doing things to advance yourself in those kinds of ways. You're just kind of waiting for it to do it for you, which is not how this whole thing works. It'll give you a push, it'll give you a nudge, but it's not going to do everything for you, ever. You have to take these steps on your own. But for those that are doing the work, that are, you know, doing their best to reach their higher self, this harvest moon is going to be big for you. It's gonna take you in a direction that you maybe didn't expect or see coming. But allow it to help you see things in a new, inspiring way. But take care of yourselves until next time we get to talk, and take care of everybody else as much as you can. I love you guys as this. I love you this much. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Peace. Namaste.